So I hate to do it, but sometimes we have to. How do we beat the test? You're stuck with these rational expression statements. You're kind of confused. You got an answer, but you're not 100% correct. And you're not 100% how to get there, but you just need to get the answer correct. So how do we beat these tests? Well, it's easy, okay? You've been given an equation. You can see it over on the left. You've been given Desmos, which is over on the right. And how do we beat it? Well, remember, our answers are equivalent. And understanding that the answer is equivalent just means that one graph should be the same as the other. Well, to beat that statement, all we end up having to do is simply just start typing in stuff. So I can go in, I said A, let's go 4x squared minus 23x minus 6. Okay, I'm going to divide it out and I'm going to say 2x and 3x plus 4. And I'm going to type out the whole entire thing. Guess what? They're not equivalent. You know why? Their graphs are not the same. So A does not work. We just beat A. How do we beat it a little bit more? I'm going to type in the next one, 7x minus 8 divided by 2 parentheses x minus 3. And notice that they are showing up the exact same. Check it out. They are exactly the exact same, which tells me that B has got to be the answer because they are equivalent and they are overlapping each other. That's all I needed to do for this video. But of course, I'm a math teacher. I'm going to take a second and can we do this by hand to verify it? If you're just here for the multiple choice piece, that's awesome. But if you want to verify your answer through algebra, I am here for you. So I'm going to keep going. 2r minus 6, we know what the answer is. Okay, so one of the things we should know is that we need to find a common denominator, okay? And as we do that, you're going to notice that the denominator is factorable over here, okay? And so I'm going to write 4r over 2r plus 3r plus 4, and I can factor out a 2 in this statement right here. So I can factor out a 2. So that is 2, and that is r minus 3. Now check it out. Remember when we did these problems in previous videos, in order to find a common denominator, you look for what is unlike in each one. And then you just bring it over to the other side. So in this case, you have a 2r. This is a 2r minus 3. This needs an r in both sides. Okay. And the reason why is because this has an r and this didn't. They were unlike. Okay. This has a 2 and this already has a 2. So that's already done. What you will notice is that this one over here has an r minus 3 and this needs an r minus 3. So an r minus 3. At this point, we have got a common denominator, which is beautiful. I love it. We got a common denominator. It is 2r and r minus 3, okay? Now, we have to work with the numerator in this case, okay? So 4r, I'm going to distribute that in, which is going to give us 4r times r, which is 4r squared, minus 3. So 4r times minus 3 is going to be negative 12r. I'm going to add, okay? And then I'm going to distribute the r's. So 3r times r is 3r squared and 4r, okay? Plus 4r. Once we've got that, we are going to look for a, we're going to simplify that numerator as much as we possibly can. So let's do that. I've got 4r squared plus 3r squared, which is 7r squared. Negative 12r plus 4r is negative 8r, okay? And I've got 2r and r minus 3. Okay, so, and r minus 3. Okay, and as we go through this, okay, what you're going to go ahead and pay attention and hopefully see is that there is a common factor in 7r squared minus 8r. That is an r. They both have an r. So I'm going to write r. I'm factor, and that's going to bring us 7r minus 8. Okay, and then I've got 2r and r minus 3. Okay, so for this one, I can go ahead and divide out values that are exactly the same. R divides out with r, and we are left with 7r minus 8 over 2 parentheses r minus 3. Now, the point of this video was simply multiple choice and how do you beat the multiple choice. But of course, I decided I'd go through and show all the steps that you could use to go through it algebraically. Remember, finding a common denominator, finding those pieces that the denominator needs, and then multiplying it against the numerator and denominator, and then simplifying it as well. You didn't have to do all of that. This is just there for reference, but that's how you beat multiple choice. You just start plugging in the original question and then plugging in those answers and looking for graphs that overlap.